So, society often wants us to believe that we have to struggle for success and struggle for love and struggle and be in pain for the beautiful things in life. But this video, I'm going to talk about how it's time to come out of the struggle. It's time for you to let yourself happen, to experience joy, peace, and prosperity in a loving, peaceful way. Hello, everyone. Good to see all of you. Good to connect with all of you. Such a wonderful, beautiful day. We're going to get right into this message because I really want to share the message from my heart. And I want to hear from you guys. Make sure that you also have any questions or comments. You could go ahead and feel free to comment in the comment section. I would love to connect with you guys. Today we're talking about coming out of the struggle. You are not here to struggle. I want to break some myths today. I want to break down some negative mindsets, some old mindsets that have us tied up into an old lacking way of thinking. So we're going to come out of the struggle. That's what today's message is all about. Come out of the struggle. You see, society, a lot of times we are programmed to believe that we have to struggle in order to succeed, or we have to struggle in order to have joy, or we have to struggle in order to be free, or in order to have love. And I'm going to break that myth today because it's time for us to come out of the struggle. The struggling thoughts that have you held in bondage, the struggling mindsets that are telling you that you should settle for less than what you deserve, or settle for something that you're just not comfortable with, or settle for stress, or settle for worry and fear and just an unhealthy relationship. We are no longer struggling. We are coming out of the struggle. And here's the thing. When you settle in anything in life, you keep the struggle alive. You keep the struggle alive when you settle in anything in life. See, we get so comfortable in our struggle. We think that it's a part of who we are. We think that we're supposed to just go around and just feel bad and be tired and be stressed. We think it's normal, but it's not normal. We want more. We are here to experience life abundantly. We are here to experience joy and freedom and gratitude and excitement and passion. We are not here to get settled in a struggle. How many of y'all with me? I want you to type in, I'm coming out of the struggle. I'm coming out of the struggle. I am out of the struggle. Let's claim it. I am out of the struggle. You are not here to sit back and to embrace a life of struggle, and to embrace a life of settling for less, and to embrace a life of fear. That's not who you are. The truth of who you are, when you really connect with the purity of your spirit, you are here to be love and to give love and to share love and to be free and to be happy and to be joyful and excited about life and loving life and feeling good and feeling love and feeling God in everything you do, and being excited about the things that are around you and grateful for the experiences you have and just enjoying yourself just because, right? I'm hearing y'all coming out. Y'all out of the struggle. You are out of the struggle. I am out of the struggle. That's right. I love it. Declare it, decree it, affirm it. See, we got to watch what we've been saying. We got to watch what we say to others. We got to watch what we're doing, because a lot of times we don't realize how much we are so connected with that mindset where people tell you, oh, if you're not struggling, if you're not suffering, if you're not in pain, don't expect to have any gain. Don't expect to have any joy. No, we are no longer going to believe that lie. We are no longer going to believe that mindset. We are no longer going to operate in that thinking. We are going to operate in the thinking that we can experience the love, the joy, the peace, the prosperity without the struggle, that we are here to experience life abundantly, that we don't have to struggle and settle and stress and fear and have resentment and be hurt and be angry and allow people to use you, to hurt you, to mistreat you. No, it is time for you to love on yourself, to be good to yourself, to care for yourself. Because listen, if you're waiting for another person to love you and to care for you and to show you you're needed, listen, you got to stop waiting for somebody else to do that. You got to start celebrating yourself. You got to start encouraging yourself. You got to start uplifting yourself. You got to start speaking life over yourself, because you are not here to just sit around and to wait for another person to do that for you. You have everything in you to prosper. You have everything in you to evolve. You have everything in you to continue to be the best you are created to be. So I want you to do that. I want you to say, I'm out of the struggle. I'm out of that mindset. I'm no longer struggling. I'm no longer settling. Why settle? Why settle? Because that person has given you these broken promises and you're holding on to it. You're holding on to the broken promises, hoping that maybe you'll get your big break, hoping that maybe this time it'll be right, hoping that maybe you'll experience that happily ever after. When God is saying you can experience it whenever you're ready, you can have it now if you tap into what is already in you. Receive it. Receive it. It's yours already now. I want you to let yourself happen. I'm going to say that again. I want you to let yourself happen. See, we put ourselves in boxes and okay, I can't do this. Oh, I can't be, okay, I don't want to be too happy, because then they may feel like, that I may make other people feel bad, or I don't want to, show how great I really am and my talents and my gifts, because, I don't want them to be uncomfortable. So I'm going to water myself down. I'm going to dim my own light. I'm not going to shine as bright because I don't know what they might say or what they might do or what they might think. Let yourself happen. I want you to type that in the comments. I am letting myself happen. I am going to let myself happen. Come on, somebody. It is time for you to let yourself happen. No longer resist who you are. Let yourself be. Be free. Be free to enjoy life. Be free to say, I'm taking a break. Be free to say, I'm going to take a vacation. Be free to say, I'm going to take a nap. Be free to say, I'm going to go for a walk. Be free to say, I am going to let myself happen. I am going to let myself be. I am no longer going to live my life stressed out, worried, in the struggle, trying to please everyone else around me. And here's the thing, guys. See, this is why I want y'all to really hold on to this. Hold on to the next thing I'm getting ready to tell you. You're going to carry this throughout this weekend, the week. I want you to hold on to this. Don't let instant gratification make you forget how much already has happened in your favor. I'm going to say that again. Don't let instant gratification make you forget what has already happened in your favor. There are so many things happening around you in your favor. So many good things, so many blessings, so many doors and opportunities opening up. They may seem little to you, because you're looking for that instant gratification of that big thing, that big accomplishment, that big break where you think is really what you want, but really it's not what you really, really want. What you really, really want is to feel good, is to be happy, is to be at peace with yourself. That's what you really, really want. And so if you get your mind off of the instant gratification, the thing, the achievement of having something tangible so that people can validate you in some way. But if you get your mind off of that and you just begin to let yourself happen, let yourself be, allow yourself to enjoy your life, be good to yourself, then you can start to find the gratitude. Wow, God, thank you that I can see, that I can hear. Thank you that I can smell this beautiful air, the fragrance of life. The birds are chirping. I hear them. The sun is out. I see it. I feel the heat. I feel the sun beaming on me. God, thank you for these things that are happening in my favor, that are so good for me. I'm not going to ignore them or take them for granted because of some instant gratification need that my ego wants to feel good or whatever. But I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to enjoy the moment. I'm out of the struggle. We out of the struggle, y'all. We out of the struggle. All right. I got some good questions today for Ask Rainie. We're getting ready to have the Ask Rainie session where I'm going to answer some of your questions. Feel free to type in your questions and I may be able to get to your question too. I got 2 questions that I'm going to read off. But before I get to this question, because this question is saying, she said, what causes a husband to walk out on his wife and kids? So we're going to talk about that, y'all. We got to talk about it. All right. So before we get to that question, I do want to say the book of the day is Deciding to Love, written by my husband, Patrick, and I, all about turning your argumentative, frustrating, painful relationship into an understanding, healthy, happy, loving relationship. When I tell you want to read the book, read the reviews on the book. I mean, life-changing. We wrote this book after being married for over 16 years, and we really went through some things in our relationship, and we have grown tremendously. And so we write about that in the book. So you want to get it? You can get it at realloveexists.com, and you can get it for 20% off when you type the daily word. And if you used the discount before, you can use it again. We're going to keep sharing the love. All right. So let's get to this question. Make sure you type in your questions. But the question is, what causes a husband to walk out on his wife and kids? Well, first of all, there are many reasons why people walk out on their family. And a lot of them, I want to first say, it has nothing to do with you. Whoever wrote the question, I want you to know it has nothing to do with you, because a lot of times we internalize things like that and we think that, well, that mean I'm not valuable. That mean something is wrong with me. He left me. I'm abandoned. Who am I? I must be broken. No, I want you to separate yourself from that. Do not attach your identity to what another person do or has done in your life. Don't ever do that. It has nothing to do with you. The reason he walked out on his wife and kids has everything to do with him. It has everything to do with his mindset. It has everything to do with his life. So give that him. That's his action. But I do want to say, whatever is going on with him, allow him to get through that process. Don't try to force anything, and focus on loving yourself, recovering, building yourself up for your life, your family, your children, your life, and really being good to you. Because right now, what you need to focus on is your healing. What you need to focus on is your mind, body, and spirit. Whatever reason that caused him to walk out, you have nothing to do with it. It was a decision that he made that he has to deal with within his self. Here's the thing. Sometimes we got to learn how to let people fight their own battles. Let people deal with what they're going to deal with. Let people heal their own heart and work through some things. We got to stop attaching ourselves to other people's actions and what they do. And just because you was married to him does not mean you are him or your identity is connected with who he is and the things that he do. So I want to encourage you to really tap into who you are and let yourself happen. Let yourself happen. Let yourself thrive. Let yourself be, and know that you are coming out of the struggle. No longer settle for that struggle. You better. So that's a great question. She said, what does it mean when you struggle for so long without any good support, but she's currently coming out of the struggle? But she said, what does it mean? First of all, I just want to say congratulations on coming out of the struggle. And the fact that you said you struggled for so long without any support, a lot of times people don't know how to support you the way you know how to support you, because they're not you. They don't know what you need. They don't know your inner voice. They don't know what you're going through. I want you to not so much look at why people aren't there, but just see that it all happened to serve you to be stronger, to serve you to be there for yourself. See, a lot of times, I don't know, we think that we really, we get to a point where we feel like we can be alone at times. We go through seasons where we feel like we're alone, and we look at that as if that's a bad thing, when it could be serving for you, because you're connecting more with who you are, your desires. You're growing closer with your intuition, what you really want in life. You're connecting more with your nature and who you are. So instead of looking at those seasons of loneliness as a bad thing, look at it as a time to serve you, a time to learn, a time to properly analyze your relationships and knowing what they're for. Because really, we put too much emphasis on other people when God is like, He has enabled us with everything we need. It's a way to have healthy relationships with other people, but we got to be careful to know that we are strengthened within us to do what we are called to do. And when you discover that, and when you tap into that, your relationships will be even better. And the things that you feel like you want more support in from people, they'll come. You'll attract it so easily when you're not looking for it, when you're not desiring it so much or wanting it or chasing it so much. But it's when you at a good space of peace within yourself that you attract even more of that. So I just want to encourage you to continue to grow in that. That's a great question. So I had someone inbox me this question, and I told her I would answer her question anonymously. But it says, will a toxic alcoholic man ever change? She said, after he has cheated and used and abused me over and over again, but he claims he loves me. Wow. She said, will he change? Well, here's the thing. He may change. He may not change. But after having a history of someone cheating on you, using you, and abusing you, is that what you want to go back to? That's the question I would have for you. Whether he claims to love you or not, what is love to you? And what kind of love you really desire. When you begin to have standards, high standards for yourself, and you define those standards for yourself, you're going to be able to make even better decisions in your relationships. Before I get to this next question, I want to go ahead and have my husband join me, Patrick Howard. Come and join me, because we got some good questions coming in, and I would love to hear his take on some of this.
Hello.
All right. So she said, would a toxic alcoholic man ever change? He abused her. He cheated on her. He used her over and over again. And he's claiming that he loves her. What would you say in that regard? What advice would you give her?
The advice that I would give is the same that you provided. Ultimately, individuals are responsible for however way they desire to move forward. Whether they change or not, that's the decision that he would have to make by himself. How do you desire to be treated? Mm-hmm. What is it that you are seeking for? And I know that the love could be there, but you also have to be aware to protect your peace and to protect how you feel and protect your safety. Because at the end of the day, as much as we love individuals and want to spend time with them, we also have to value ourselves, value our health, our mental health, our physical health, and make sure that we're positioning ourselves properly so that we don't put ourselves in jeopardy. Because if you're dealing with something like that for so long, it's going to take some radical revelation on his part in order for him to truly change, from that behavior.
Yeah, and I would say focus on the healing work for yourself. Focus on the self-care work, and just be all about protecting your peace, guarding your heart, taking care of you.
Yeah.
And if he's willing to change, he'll come along, but you don't have to work for that. Okay, we got another question. She said, why do the ego feel like you have to fight for someone else who clearly isn't into you? And she just feel the need to keep wanting to fight for the relationship. So what it is it's the feeling, the internal feeling of wanting that validation, wanting it so bad, wanting that love so bad, and you think that it's outside of you. This is the trick of the mind. You think that it's kind of like being in a struggle. We're going to get back to the struggle. You know how society tell us the more you struggle, the more you grind, the more you in pain, then you're going to get this great massive success. When most people that get it that way, once they get the success, they're miserable, they're tired, they're stressed, they barely can enjoy it because they struggled so hard. They don't know how to enjoy things. Anyone that's really truly loving you and for you, you never have to chase. You never have to work for it. It comes so easy. It comes like flow. It's such a natural, even with us, even with our relationship, it's just such a natural love that never had to be a force, never had to be, a struggle or none of that stuff. But what I want you to do is to really work on self-love, because what it is that you're dealing with is that depletion of feeling enough, feeling like you are enough, or that you have love in you and you have all the love in you. Once you get to that place, and I could talk about it and it may sound foreign to you, but once you get into that place, you're no longer going to desire that person. You would not desire them at all, because you would just have a whole different mindset. And that's what it is. You want to share it?
I think too, when we think about relationships, realistically, just relationships and life in general, man looks at the outward appearance. People put themselves in position where they're chasing something that's an outward expression of what they desire, instead of paying attention to how they truly want to feel.
Right.
So when you're in a relationship or you looking at somebody that may be attractive, you're willing to go out your way. You're willing to chase, you're willing to put yourself in awkward positions, just so that at the end of the day, what you see externally look good. Like, I'm standing next to a piece of arm candy, you know what I'm saying? I'm standing next to somebody who's impressive to other people, and who may be impressive to myself too. I may be impressed by this individual. Instead of looking at, how I really want to feel, I'm looking at how this look and how this make other people feel. I say, don't compare your situation, don't compare yourself to anybody else. I was thinking about when you were talking about coming out of the struggle, and the importance of how we put ourselves in struggles when we compare our situations to other people.
Exactly.
And the key to not being in a place of struggle, and I'm thinking about the question about having good support, is gauging our experience based off where we started and where we are.
Yeah.
If we started in a low place and we're at a place much higher, then that's a place to show gratitude. My starting place and my current place is not based on where anybody else is. I'm thankful for my growth. I'm thankful for the opportunities that I have, but my happiness and my success is not tied to the success of anyone else or how their experience looked compared to mine.
Don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself to the next person or any of that, or to how they're treating,
or to be distracted by how things look.
Because she was talking about just basically wanting that, desiring that,
because I think it's, to me, I talk about money topics. It's like money. When you're in a position of lack and you need money, sometimes you may put yourself in a compromising position to settle to receive it.
The desperate
feeling. So you never want to be desperate for anything,
right?
Whether it's money or a relationship, because that'll keep you with the appropriate standards for your life. You won't compromise your standards if you're not in a place of desperation.
Right. Awesome. Any other questions? She said, what do you do as a wife if your husband tells you he doesn't like you? I would ask you, because I'm sure she may have felt a certain way. I don't know the situation in your marriage, but I don't know. I guess I look at it like, do you like you? Because me liking me is enough. Like, even if it's a husband, even if, my husband said, I don't like you. Okay, what does that have to do with how I feel about myself? Does that change how I feel about myself? See, if it changes how you feel about yourself, now you need to focus on, well, why am I allowing him feeling that way to change how I feel? That's just all he's doing is showing you need to do more inner work. Because the more inner work that you built on, I don't care who they are, whether they like me or not, it's not going to sink in and cause me to feel insecure or to feel like I'm not enough, because I know who I am. And I don't want to say it like I'm flaunting or I'm none of that. I'm saying it like when you know, nobody can break that from you. There's certain things that nobody can take from you. Your character, your intuition. When you do this inner work, nobody can steal this from you. It's soul stuff. You know what I'm saying? The body is one thing, but the soul is eternal. So it's certain things that people just cannot touch when you do that work, when you build yourself from the inside out. You untouchable. You can't be broken because there's something strong in you. And I want you to read this book, Deciding to Love, seriously, because we talk about a time in our relationship when we went through a struggling season, when we had to go through some stuff where he didn't feel happy. So we had to work through some things, right? And that's just real. Hey, but
I was gonna mention that too. Especially when you talk about doing the inner work, because that is something that we talk about in the book. When you do the inner work and you've really built yourself up, you can be in situations where, say, your husband will say something like that, and that could just roll right off of you because you won't take it personally. Just like she was saying, when you do the inner work, the fact that he said that, not knowing the situation, it means that it's something going on inside of him anyway. It's something that he's feeling. So it's not something that you should take personally. Anyway,
right.
It's something that he got to deal with. What he feeling that made him say what he said.
And people say certain things like, I love you, but I don't like you. And, people do that and they be in their feelings, and sometimes people say things to hurt you, or they say things to get a certain reaction because they want to get a certain reaction. People are really good manipulators. Listen. So you just got to be guarded for who you are and knowing what you bring to the table, regardless of what another person says to you.
Yeah.
So that's a great question. I'm glad you answered it, asked it. I'm glad you asked that question.
And it's definitely answered in the book, for real.
It is. Definitely be the perfect book for you right now and your husband.
Yeah.
Because he writes about a man's perspective.
Yeah. And that's the thing about it too. We talk about married couples, we talk about perspective. This book was, we both wrote half. I wrote half, you wrote half, and we kind of addressed both sides of things. Yeah. So that it's a little more transparency when dealing with situations in marriage.
Oh, I'm glad that was helpful. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love y'all so much.
Yeah.
If you feel like you have a question, you want to inbox us your questions. We can answer them anonymously. But I love y'all. Enjoy yourself today. See you next week.
Yeah, see ya.
Thanks so much for watching the video. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think that you need to struggle in order to experience the loving things you enjoy in life? Leave a comment below, just letting me know your thoughts. And also be sure to subscribe to my channel and share the video with your friends and family. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.